Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Inside the Den. Today we're going to take a look at Forge of Empires, and this is a free-to-play browser-based strategy game. So let's get started. As you can see, I've kind of built myself up a bit here. I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit further down the road look at the game, not just right from the beginning, because it does the game's progress slows down a little bit. So I wanted to give you guys a look at a portion of the game where you can kind of see all of its features. I didn't want to kind of give you guys a first look. So anyways, what I'm going to show you first is one of the main things that you're going to do is you're going to need resources for this game, just like any other strategy game. And as you can see here, I've built up all these houses, and these houses provide me with a couple of different resources. One, they provide me with gold based upon like taxes for my people. And the second thing they provide is they actually provide me with the people that will work in the different jobs and different buildings that I create. So we're going to go ahead and collect all of our gold here. So you can see here, now you notice right there that I'm actually collecting 22 gold. And the reason I'm collecting 22 gold instead of what would normally be 18 from one of these buildings is because right now I do have my people, my happiness, they are enthusiastic. So they're very happy to be working for me. Very proud to be working for me. So that means that I get an additional 20% out of all my resources. Now when I talk about resources, I'm not only talking about gold there, but I'm also talking about the production or the supplies that come from all of these buildings that I've got set up here in the middle. And I've got the butcher, several different butchers built here, and then I've also got a goat farm that I'm working on. You can see that's going to provide me with 2,592 resources when it's done in about 18 hours. Now with these different buildings, you can set them to work at different intervals. Now with the houses, they're kind of set. Like these ones are 15 minutes. These ones down here are 4 hours. So every 15 minutes, this will provide each one of these buildings will provide me with, and we can actually zoom in on these. Each one of these buildings will provide me with 18 gold. Obviously 22 because they are enthusiastic, so I'm getting a little bit of extra bonus. Now these every 4 hours will provide me with 110, or because they're enthusiastic, 132. But when you get into the production buildings of supplies, these buildings have different intervals. So depending upon how often, if you're going to be right in front of the game and doing different things, or if you've got to go take off for a while, or if you're going to be gone for an entire day, you can set these up to actually produce supplies at 5, 15, 1 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour, or 24 hour intervals. So you can set up, and like these ones right here are set at 4 hour intervals right now. So they're going to produce 312 in about 3 more hours. Then this goat farm is going to produce 2,592, but that's because I'm doing a 24-hour stint. And the reason I'm doing that is because this goat farm is going to produce a full wheel of cheese. And the reason I'm doing that is because I need to produce whole cheese 2 wheels, or twice, 2 times, and I'll get 400 gold for doing that. So you're going to have different quests that are going to require you to do different things, like this, acquire East Nagok, and I'll show you about that in a second. And then we've got this one down here, which is pay 20 gold, 20 medals, and you get 1 random blueprint. We'll talk about that in a second. As you can see right up here in the top right hand corner, I've got 7 medals right now. But let's take a look, and the reason that I'm actually getting the bonus and the extra enthusiasm is because I've got all these buildings here, these taverns, and then I've got this triumphal arch, and then I've got my brand new public bath, which I just created. But you can see right here, this has got a little star over it. And the reason that has the little star over it is because someone that I took and I went to their city, and I actually provided a little bit of help to them. So you can see you've got this city. Now I can go and I can motivate, and I can support either one of their houses or one of their tool or supply producing buildings, or I can polish one of their enthusiasm producing buildings. So that's what happened, is somebody came to my city and actually enthusiastically added to my tavern. So that's why I'm getting the extra enthusiasm. And you can do that for a bunch of different people. You can see I've got 51 minutes here. You can do that once per day. On this guy, I've got 51 minutes before I can take, and I can actually do that to his town, or I can go to any of these, or you can go all the way up to the people that are close by, all the way up to the 61st person, and you can see their score and such like that. Or we can basically go back to myself. I believe I'm like in the 9 spot. Yeah, there I am in number 9. But those are some of the things that you can do that are helpful. Now, if you want to take, and unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do this right now, if you want to take and you want to actually kind of quote unquote rob from your neighbors, then what you'll do is you'll go out here to the map once it loads up, And you can see I've cleared a bunch of these maps, and you can see on a few of these maps we've got these little towers. And what these towers are, these are PvP towers. So we can click on that tower. And what this allows us to do is, because this is the Iron Age tower, we'll talk about the Iron Age in a second. This Iron Age tower only allows use of iron units. And we'll talk about iron units in a second. But then I'm going to be able to attack these different guys. You see, I can't attack anyone right now because they're all on cooldown. But I've had 15 total fights. I've got this many points. And if I can somehow work myself up in the next 21 hours up to this level here, which can be pretty tough because this guy's got 47 fights, I'll get 2 of those medals. And you can see the top guy's going to get 20 of those medals. But he's got 323 fights. He's fighting like a madman. So when we talk about unit, you can also go into each individual. You have to capture these. Before I get ahead of myself, you have to capture all of these different areas. And as you can see up here, I'm working on this one. But we'll get back to that in a second and some of the stuff. But let's go back to our city and let's actually go into our research. Now you start at the very beginning of the game. Let's get all the way back to the very beginning. You start in the Stone Age, and the first research that you're going to do is this tribal community, and that's quickly going to move you on to the Bronze Age. Now you've got research points up here, and you get 1 research point every single hour. Now you can also take and you can spend either gold or the game's diamonds, which is the premium currency, and get additional forge points, they call them, not research points. Now each hour or each one of those that you buy, you're going to be able to progress your way through the research. Like this takes 3, and then you can see it gets to be more and more. And now I'm all the way up here into, I've already passed through the Iron Age, and I'm now into the early Middle Ages. So you can see these are taking 12. The one I'm working on right now is 18. Some of these get into the 20s and stuff like that. And then once you've researched them, they then take another cost to unlock. So you can see here you've got cost to unlock reward of coins 1,500 and supplies 3,000. But some of these are going to take things like this, like jewelry and dye and things of that nature. Now that becomes very important because you can either go out here onto the map and you can take, and you can see here this if I capture this area right here by completing all of the different little, the battles in all the different little zones, I'll get the ebony tree. And here, like, I'm gonna go back there real quick. Here you can see I've got this one which gives me iron, and here down here you've got this one. I've got this one which gives me lumber, and then I've got this one right here which gives me dye. Now if I utilize that to my advantage, I can then create buildings that are going to produce more than the normal, more than just 1 every 4 hours, because these work on a little bit of a different scale, and they're on 4, 8, 24, and then I think it's like a couple of days. I can't remember off the top of my head. But right now I'm doing an 8-hour stint on the iron foundry and on my lumber mill, and that's going to give me 10 of each of these products. But let's say we don't have one of those products and we want to get one. So what we can do is we can go in here to the trade market. We can find one. Like right now, I'm gonna need. You saw I needed all those all that jewelry. So I'm gonna go down here. I need jewelry. So you can see you've got a couple of different guys that are offering these, and this guy's offering it for ebony. And because this is oranged out, that means that I can actually trade with this guy. But the kicker here is that I actually need a forge point, so I can't actually make this trade yet. So I can either go about getting a forge point by buying it using gold, or I can wait. It's gonna be another 1 minute, and I'll be able to buy that forge point. So what can we do in the meantime? So we're going to head out to the map. We're going to take and we're going to attack another region here to try and capture this region. So we're going to go after this region right here. Now you can see you can demand for negotiation by using some of the supplies that you have, or we can go and we can see what's their defending army. So I like my chances against this defending army. So what I'm going to do is to kind of weaken them a little bit. I'm going to infiltrate them. So I'm going to spend 100 gold, infiltrate them. You can see they get knocked down by 1 little teeny tiny bit. Now, when you look at each of these individual units, you're going to see you've got attack, you've got defense, you can see what their range of fight is, you can see what their movement is, you can see their attack bonus. They've got a bonus against, because this is a mounted warrior, they got attack bonus versus short ranged. Then they've got a defensive bonus against short range, which is basically like archers. But that also means that they're also susceptible to like pikemen, or to, you could see right here, you could see the attack bonus for the archer. So if they're on rocks, they're going to get bonuses. But anyways, let's get into the attack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my defending army, and I'm going to grab some of my defending army. I'm actually going to grab all of my defending army. throw them over here. We're going to leave him out because he's healing up. You can see he's got a little bit of time to heal up. Then we're going to change to our attacking army, and we're going to create our attacking army. We're going to throw all these guys in here. So you can see I've got a range of different stuff. I've got archers. I've got a legionnaire. You can see all of their attacks and bonuses and things of that nature. And then you can see right here I've got some ballistas, which are very, very long range, and you can see their bonuses as well. So we're going to assign all of them, and then we're going to get into the attack. Now, once we're in the attack, we're in these kind of what are these? Hexagonal? These hexagonal squares. So you can see they've moved first. Now I can take and I can either move my guys and put them in kind of a defensive position. And you can see also when I move them, there's all the green, and then there's a kind of a red hazed area. Now that's the area that I'm going to be able to attack. So I can take and I can move them, and then I'll be able to attack all the way out to where that red haze is. Now I'm not going to move them right now, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm going to take and I'm going to hold my ground and let the other guys come to me a little bit in an attempt to essentially save my guys, to kind of hold them back so they don't actually die. So you can do that by double clicking on them, and they're gonna basically just sit back waiting for these guys to move a little bit closer to where then I'm going to be able to obliterate them. So now there we go. We moved on. Now all their last little guys are moving. Now we're on to this guy. We're going to go ahead and hold his ground as well. And then we should be one more move for them, and then we should be on to our ballistas. And there we are. So our ballistas, as you can see, they've got a very, very long range. So we're going to use him, and we're going to attack this mounted warrior here, which we should be able to pretty much take him down. Almost. We got him almost all the way down. Now, unfortunately, I do have the game's music and sound turned off. And so let me see if I can do that. Turn the sound effects on. There we go. So you're seeing the sound effects and also the music now. Now that mounted warrior got in nice and close, a little bit closer than I wanted him to. But as soon as we get a chance to attack, we'll take him down. No problem. All right. So now we've got our archer. So we're gonna fire on this guy before he gets too close. Looks like we're gonna have to move out one. Let's see if we can turn our music down a little bit. Eventually. Forget it. I'm just going to go over here. I was trying to turn it down with my keys on my keyboard, but that's not working. So we've got another archer here. So we're going to move him out a little bit so we can take and attack this other pikeman that's coming in. So there we go. We're going to move around that, take him down. Now this guy can automatically attack, so we'll take this guy out, no problem. And then we're going to move him to there. Fire on this guy. There we go. And then let that archer get in a little. He got in a little bit too close. Now this is our legionnaire, so we're gonna use him to take down this. There we go. Let him take out the mounted guy. And what do we got next? We got another legionnaire. We're not gonna be able to move him too close, so we're gonna put him in a position where he's pretty defensive, and he'll also protect some of our other troops here. So now we're on to our ballistas again. So we'll take this guy down, no problem. And that way we got that archer out of the way. Now that we've gotten this far, so this guy, see, he tried to attack me because I'm in the bush. I get the extra defensive bonus, so I did a lot more damage to him than he probably wanted me to. So I want to turn this music down a little bit more. Let's take it all the way down to the bottom. There we go. And where are we at here? So we got a couple more. Now what we can do is now that we take it, and I know that winning is inevitable, we can go ahead and hit this button, these two swords, and this will automatically finish the fight. Let my guys finish the fight. Now I can click on results up here if I want to go ahead and just jump right to the end, or I can just kind of sit back and enjoy the slaughter, because my guys are going to slaughter these guys. And it looks like, yep, looks like we're going to survive this as well with all of our troops, which is another big bonus. Because every time you lose a troop, then you have to rehire them, and that costs resources. So the more resources that you can hold on to and get through with, then the better you're going to be able to advance later on. So there we go. So it also shows our placing as far as our victory is concerned. Shows that these guys are pretty injured, so we've either got to take and spend the diamonds or the gems to heal them, or what we can do is we can go back and we can get back into the city and we can actually assign them to actually heal up. Now we got one more spot. We'll be able to get that ebony. We're not going to be able to do that right now, but we will get to that part. So what we're going to want to do is we're essentially going to want to go to the army assignment, which is this little army management, this little helmet here. And we're going to want to place all of those guys who essentially need to get healed up. But we're going to want to take all of these guys out. And we're going to take them all, put them there. Then we're going to take in all of our units that are essentially in good health. We're going to put them into the defending army space. And the reason behind that is the units that you have in your defending army, that's going to protect you against attack from other players. So and now while we're taking in those units are healing up, we can go in here and we can see here we've got a legionnaire that we're building. We've got an archer that we're building. Then we can go down here and we can see, all right, so we've got this guy needs to heal. Time to heal is 12 minutes. So everything kind of has a time allotment with it. Now for some of you guys, you may not like the slow nature of this, but as far as like the little animations and the graphics, you definitely have to give the game kudos for what it's done. And then we also get money from our daily bonus from our castle here, so you want to keep that in mind. We talked about the trading, we talked about the research, we talked about the PvP, we talked about all of these different quests that we're going to get. Now we can also go up here and we can see our profile. We can also set things like goods that we want. We can change our little image here, edit our profile text down here, edit the name of our city. We can also look at the goods that we have available. We can also look at news. And what this news will do is this shows us a great buildings that we're participating in. And now occasionally, especially when you're supporting other players, you're going to take and you're going to earn blueprints. And we can't see those there. I think we have to go to our inventory. Yeah, I think it's in here somewhere. There we go. So we've got the statue of Zeus, we've got the Colosseum, and we've got the Tower of Babel. And you can see we've got some of these blueprints right now. Now you saw if we take and we turn in those, if we're able to get to 20 medals, we're going to be able to get a random blueprint. You also get these, like I said, when you're supporting other players and things of that nature as well. And then when you can build these have huge bonuses for your city, the statue of Zeus. And there's several of these different great buildings, so to say. So you definitely want to do everything you can to try and collect as many of these blueprints, and then you're going to be able to construct it. And you can see you can actually buy your way through this, which I disagree with a little bit. But you can also see there are some requirements, and you are going to need 40 forge points are required for level 1. And you can do stuff like that. You've got information, Statue of Zeus, Olympia, so you can see passive bonus, military boost, while attacking units gain plus 5% attack and defense. So you can go through and you can see all the different things that you're going to get if you construct those buildings. You've also got all kinds of different stuff going on in here. Seems like this is it's frozen a little bit, but let's get out of here. Now you can see our money's up again, so we're going to go ahead and click on all of these buildings, gather all those resources. There we go. Come on, a couple more. One thing that I want to tell you guys is it does get a little bit tricky, is you have to make sure you're right on the building. If you're up a little bit too high, you'll be on this building or another building. You also want to pay attention to your construction, because as you research, you're going to research different areas that allow you to, where are they? Right here. So you've got expansion areas. And when you get those expansions, you're going to go into your building, you get those expansions, you're going to be expand and then create different areas like that. You're also going to be able to take and sell, move your building. So I can go like this, I can move this building around, see everywhere where it can go. But all these buildings that have direct bonuses, or construction or things like your housing, they need to have access to a road that has access to your castle. So you have to make sure you kind of structure out your construction to where you reach all of those different things. So strategically, you have to kind of play with that. Now we can look at our global ranking. Let's go take a look at some people that are really high up. So you can see right there, I'm 6,821. I've got this many points. I've got this many battles won. We can obviously go all the way to the top of these and see this is the #1 guy with 634,000 points. He's won that many battles. We can also take and visit his little town here, or his village, and see all the different stuff that he's going on. So you can see he's got a deal castle, he's got this early Middle Ages Hagia Sophia. You can see all the different buildings that he has. He has so many buildings that everything doesn't fit on the main screen. Like I can't even zoom out, but we can zoom in and see what St. Mark's looks like. You can see it's very large. You've also got St. Basil's Cathedral. So you can see some of the really, really cool buildings, because when we take and we go back to our city, we can go into, and you can see the difference between his and mine. You can see the research right now goes all the way forward through here, which is the colonial period or the colonial age. And what's really neat is the game is constantly adding to the different ages. So I expect another age, maybe the Renaissance or something like that, to be added very quickly. Now we need some of those jewels, so let's go ahead and we got our one forge point. So we're gonna go ahead and trade some. We're gonna trade some iron for those jewels because we have tons of iron and we're creating iron, but we need all the ebony that we have right now for a later research. So, but this gives you guys a good idea of the gameplay. It's not a game where you're gonna move really fast. It's not a real-time strategy game. It's kind of turn-based, especially in the combat, and it's kind of one of those games you can have running in your browser and just have it play and do different things of that nature. So either way, I hope you guys enjoyed today's trip inside the den. Don't forget to subscribe and keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. Also, don't forget to like and comment on these videos, as we really do appreciate that feedback. If you'd like to play or learn more about Forge of Empires, you can read our full review at MMODen.com or just click the link in the description. Till next time, thanks for watching.